Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're keeping well. I want to walk you through the latest Bannerlord update, the one that rolled out as WSV 10.6, BLV 1.310, and explain what actually changed, why some of those fixes matter, and what you might notice when you jump back in. So first off, the patch is small in words but meaningful in effect. The developers pushed another round of tweaks to the Naval storyline and a collection of stability and crash fixes that target specific missions and launcher or renderer issues. There are a handful of very concrete crash fixes listed. Crashes on launch or when loading saves due to incorrect resource loading, crashes tied to a particular end-of-mission naval sequence in the Free the Sea Hounds Captives quest, a prison break spawn issue in a Nord dungeon, a crash triggered when focusing a ship control point after taking control of a friendly troop, and even a campaign map crash tied to too many nameplates being visible at once. Those read like surgical bug fixes, the kind of stuff that doesn't change the fantasy of the missions, but stops the game from dying in the middle of key beats. One practical note the studio called out is worth repeating exactly. Because the base game and the War Sales expansion are deployed as separate downloads, there can be a lag where your base Bannerlord client updates before War Sales finishes. If you try to launch the game during that window, you can run into a crash. The official page and a few community threads have flagged this as a recurring source of "my game won't start" posts. If you get hit by that, the standard remedy they recommend is to verify your game files through your launcher, Steam or whichever client you use, to force a sync and then relaunch once both pieces show as fully updated. Beyond the crash fixes, the note about more tweaks to the Naval storyline is intentionally vague, but when you look at the pattern of previous War Sales patches, you can see what that wording usually maps to. Adjustments to mission pacing, rebalancing a ship's speed or HP in ramming encounters, NPC behavior corrections so they don't get stuck or act overly aggressive, and fixes for quest conditions that could break progression. In practice, that means some encounters you found frustrating or bugged may now play out smoother, fewer teleporting enemies, fewer impossible ramming windows, and fewer mission states that soft lock because a spawn point failed. Those are the kinds of changes that don't make headlines, but directly improve the play experience for anyone trying to finish the Naval arc. The devs also slipped in a silent hotfix recently that targeted OpenGL-related problems and launcher crashes caused by invalid render values, which explains why people who play on certain hardware saw improved stability after the patch. If you had graphical crashes or immediate launcher exits, that's the fix intended to help. Community posts on the official forums and Steam confirm that people who followed the verify files route or adjusted renderer settings saw better results after the update. So it's not just theory, there's real evidence from players testing the new build. For storytellers and streamers, the mission-specific fixes are the most important. A crash during an end-phase naval sequence or a botched prison break used to be a real momentum killer, and now those are explicitly patched. For modders, the patch means you should expect some compatibility checks. Whenever the base game and a major expansion get iterative updates, some mods that touch quests, spawning, or rendering can behave unpredictably until their authors publish updates or compatibility notes. The safe approach right now is to run the game without mods if you hit unexplained crashes, verify integrity of files, and only reintroduce mods one at a time so you can spot which one causes issues. Finally, if you're just interested in the feel of the game rather than the technical side, these small patches are part of an expected post-launch cadence for any big expansion. Naval combat brings new systems, ships, controls, sea physics, AI for crews, and those systems interact in messy ways once thousands of players run them. Quick iterations like this are the cleanup passes that make the emergent moments less about bugs and more about the intended drama of being out on the water, ramming, boarding, and trying to wrest control away from an enemy crew without the mission abruptly crashing on a bad spawn. So if you jump back in and notice fewer interruptions and a slightly smoother naval campaign, that's exactly what this update was meant to accomplish.